So today we're going to talk about photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, plants use sunlight to make their own food, and carbohydrates are the type of food that they make. The word photosynthesis is made up of two parts, photo meaning light, and synthesis meaning to make or to put together. Photosynthesis is considered a biochemical reaction because it's a chemical reaction that takes place in living things. So in essence, the plant is able to take the sunlight in order to make chemical energy for the plant, and in the process it gives off oxygen, which we then breathe. So in the process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide goes into the plant and water goes into the plant. Only in the presence of sunlight does photosynthesis take place, and the products are glucose, oxygen, and a little bit of water is given off. Once the plant makes this molecule of glucose, then an animal can come in and eat the plant and gets glucose or biomass to use for energy for itself. In plants, photosynthesis takes place in the leaves. So if this is a cross-section of a leaf, this is the top and this is the underneath. Photosynthesis only takes place in plants, and it only takes place in the leaves. Most of the photosynthesis takes place within the cells, within the little dots of the cell. On the lower leaf surface, there is an opening here called a stomata. And a stomata is just an opening in the bottom of the leaf where the carbon dioxide can enter the leaf and the oxygen can leave. So there's carbon dioxide going in and oxygen coming out in the process of photosynthesis. So within a leaf, a plant has a lot of plant cells. And within these plant cells are chloroplasts, and chloroplasts is exactly where the photosynthesis occurs. Most of the actual photosynthesis, the sunlight is trapped in these thycaloids, and between the thycaloids in the chloroplast is a fluid called stroma. So this picture here actually coincides with the diagram of a cell in the chloroplast over there. All of this is so tiny that you need a microscope to see it. So glucose is the form of energy that is made for the plant during the process of photosynthesis. It contains the chemical energy for the plant to grow, and it also contains the chemical energy for the animals that will eat the plants. So the reason photosynthesis is so important is because the energy from the grass is used to make the energy goes to the rabbit after it's eaten the grass, and then the energy that the rabbit takes in would go to the fox in a simple food chain. We call plants producers because they can make their own food. Animals, like the rabbit and the fox, are consumers because they cannot make their own food. So, in photosynthesis, It takes place in all plant cells within the chloroplast. And photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplast, and it makes a sugar that's called glucose. That is a form of starch, and it also gives off oxygen, which leaves through the leaves. Then there's something called respiration. Respiration takes place in all cells within a different part of the cell, the mitochondrion, which you haven't gotten to yet, are found in the cells, and it's the opposite. It gives off water and it gives off carbon dioxide. That water and carbon dioxide go back in for photosynthesis. But remember, respiration takes place in all cells. So what we're going to be doing in this activity is we're going to be locating and identifying the starch that's present in the leaves of some everyday plants that we can find outside our building. And once we see their starch, then we can go backwards and identify that there's glucose, and then we can go back and identify that photosynthesis took place. Sorry this was a little long, but tried to do something new so you can just use YouTube.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.